Hello and a very good afternoon, good morning. Welcome along to Crafters TV. My name is Ben Moseby. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday. I think for one of my favourite shows that we do because it's nice and laid back, it's nice and relaxed, and we all get to craft along. Now, for those of you who are watching a craft along for the first time and think, well, how is this different to what you normally do? This show basically does exactly what it says on the tin. You are going to craft along with us, hopefully, and we do it in real time as well. This is one of those shows where there's no, here's one I made earlier, or I coloured this part of the project earlier and I'm now going to bring it in. You see everything. That's why these craft alongs may take half an hour, they may take an hour, they may take the full 2 hours. They'll take as long as they need to take, and you guys, as I say, can craft along with us. If you've already got the kit that we've got, the Bee-Youtiful collection, no doubt you will be crafting along with us over the course of this show. If you haven't, I'll give you all the details in just a bit as to how you can get your hands on the collection and then craft along at a later date, because this craft along will stay on our channels. Best thing to do is go to YouTube, subscribe to us, and then you can watch this show back and craft along at, well, any time you want to, really. Now, I'm delighted to say that we have got two ladies who are going to be crafting along with us, who I'll introduce you to in just a few moments' time. However, we need somebody to lead this craft along, because don't look at this guy, don't look at this guy. You know, all right, Georgina. Georgina's gone, I'm not looking at you. Listen, if I'm the bee with my yellow shirt on today from the Bee-Youtiful collection, we need a gorgeous flower. And over the other side of the studio, there is one in the form of the fish, Debbie Fisher. Look at you all, fairy.
Oh, you're so lovely, Ben. Thank you very much. So the bee to the flower.
Yes. Should be good today, right?
You know what? You're right. Craft alongs are so beautifully done because you have my time, you have my full attention, and you can craft along to your heart's content. Now, we try to go at a really slow pace. If I'm not slow enough, just tell me and we can recap back. We take intervals in between and we go back to Ben so we can at least let people catch up. And you've got that added value of these videos where you can go back and watch them, and I know a lot of people do that. But what we've got here is what looks like a standard Z-fold card, but we're actually gonna do a wiper card. Boing! How cool is that? So we're going to learn how to do these beautiful wiper cards. Once you've learned the concept of these, honestly, everything you do then you can add this element to, which is so much fun. So you've got this sort of pop-up value in your card, and you know how much I love a kinetic card, Ben, so these are fabulous.
Same. And I've got to say to you, Debbie, this is the first time, I mean, I've seen lots of different cards that do different things. I have never seen a wiper card before. I think that's really cool. It looks difficult to do.
No, it's very simple. We only do simple here, don't we?
That's exactly right. That was the answer I was looking for. I would have been devastated if you'd have gone, yeah, it's really, really hard. You won't be able to do it. No, the craft alongs are here for you to craft along with us, and you, by the end of the show, will hopefully have made one of those wiper cards. But I hear you cry, what do I need to do this craft along? Well, if you've already seen our socials, and indeed if you watched Wake Up Call this morning, you'll already know. If you didn't, and you haven't, let me show you. Here is the recipe list, if you like, as to what you're going to need to use. So, you're going to need the Bee-Youtiful 12x12 paper pad. You'll also need the pearlescent paper pad as well. All of these come with the collection. You're going to need your Be Happy die. You'll need your Sweet as Honeycomb die, and your honeybee die and stamp. You'll also need your bee blooms die and stamp, tri-blend markers. You'll need some white stamping card, and you'll also need some heat resistant acetate. And then kind of your craft room essentials, really, the tools of the trade. You'll need your Gemini Junior or your MIDI. If you haven't got a MIDI, by the way, got a great deal on that, which I'll bring to you in a bit. You'll need the Scoremaster. You'll need your guillotine, your magnetic stamping platform. You'll need your tape pen. You'll need your dotty tape pen, and you'll need your glossy highlights as well. Those are optional, but nice just to add a finishing touch to your project. As I've said, be careful, Debbie.
Sorry, I dropped something.
Did you? We didn't notice, did we, guys? Carry on. We'll edit that to bang out later. Just whilst Debbie's getting herself together, I'll finish my sentence and say, if you want to do this craft along and you haven't yet got the products, we'll give you all the details on those in just a little bit. But to give you time to get all of your goodies together, let us introduce you to our two guests who are going to be joining us over the course of the next couple of hours. And I think I want to say that this is the first craft along that I've done with not one, but two guests. So I'm hugely excited about this. This is going to be a full-on craft along party going on. And first of all, we're going to welcome guest number one, who is with us, I believe, from Ohio. We have got to say a very good morning to Jenny. How are you, Jenny?
Hello, I am great. Thank you.
We are delighted to have you here with us. And I want to say, I've obviously seen you comment on the shows before, and I want to say that I feel that I know you, and tell me if I'm wrong, but did you win something on an HSM preview a while back that I did?
I did. I absolutely did. Yes, the frame stamp and dies.
Yeah. Excellent. I knew it. And what was it about the Bee-Youtiful collection that made you grab it when this became available?
As soon as I saw the very first preview of it, I was so excited just because I love the colors and just everything about it just was like something that I knew I would want to create with. So I've been itching to get my hands on it for a long time.
Excellent stuff. And also, have you ever crafted or heard of a wiper card before? Because it's the first one for me.
Yes.
Oh,
yes, I have.
Okay. And I believe you know Debbie as well already. Debbie was sort of saying before the show that she sort of knows you already.
Yes, Jenny.
I feel like we do. Yes.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff. Well, Jenny, you are ready and raring to go. And it's not just you that's going to be crafting along with us over the course of the next couple of hours. We also have with us a lady who is joining us from near Chicago, Illinois. It says on my notes here. And it is the lovely Rhonda. Hello, Rhonda. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And again, I might be wrong here, but I'm sure I know you from the fact that you have a pet, don't you?
Oh, yes. Shadow.
Shadow the cat.
That's correct.
Yes, Shadow the big cat.
Yes, the huge cat.
That was a couple of weeks back.
I have shut my door so that he doesn't come and help me.
Do you find that quite a lot then when you're crafting along that Shadow likes to join in?
Oh, he doesn't like to just join in. He likes to be in the middle of it all.
Okay. I kind of wish you'd left the door open a little bit now, but but because we'll need to get along with this, maybe it is a good idea to keep it closed. And with this collection as well, what is it you love about the Bee-Youtiful collection, and why did you jump in and grab it?
Well, I love bees to begin with, and the paper is so beautiful, and I'm a collection person anyway, so of course I had to have all of it.
Excellent stuff. Well, listen, we are, I think, pretty much ready and raring to go. I'll just check the other side of the studio that Debbie's okay, and she's sorted herself out. Are you ready and raring to go over there?
I am very nearly ready, yes.
Okay, all right. Just before we get started, just to give you the details of the collection that obviously Jenny and Rhonda have already got their hands on. It is amazing for the fact that you're going to get your pattern paper, you've got your pearlescent colour paper in there as well, and a whole host of other goodies. There's some gorgeous, almost like creator card dies in here as well. There's the Builder Bee stamp set included in here too. You've got embossing folders. It is absolutely a beautiful, beautiful collection. You can see the full details of it on the screen right now. 73 elements, 48 sheets of paper, 24 sheets of card. Normally 126.88 or 192.40. However, today it comes down under £100. It's $140, and platinum members are at $79.99 or $112. If you want to cherry pick as well, you've got the ability to do that. If you spend £40 or spend $40, you will save an extra 10%. But as I always say, go for the full bundle, because you'll only come back and end up buying more and then end up spending more. And also, if you do go for the full bundle today, whack in more of your consumables as well, because the paper pads are absolutely amazing. Right, I think we are all ready, so let's double check. Debbie, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, Debbie is ready. Jenny, are you ready? Yep, she's ready. And I'm giving some work for our director George here. And last but by no means least, Rhonda, are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Let's do this thing then. Let us craft along. Get in touch in the comments on Facebook and on YouTube. If there's anything you want to know along the way, anything that you want repeated, or indeed if you want us to slow down, speed up, you can let us know on Facebook and on YouTube. And of course, at the end of the show, we will ask you to send in your pictures of your makes as well. But let us hand over to the flower, the other side of the studio, the lovely Debbie. Where do we start?
Yeah, absolutely. I adore this collection. I'm with Jenny. As soon as I see it, I was like, this is my ultimate collection. I adore it for everything that's in it. The colours, the coordination, that bees, they're so important to our environment. So the first thing we're going to need is our paper pads. So we're going to be using the block papers and the pattern papers. You can obviously use whichever ones you want, but I'm going to pop them to the side for the moment because we're going to do our base card. So I've got my A4 piece of stamping card and we're going to cut this to size to create our base card. So firstly, we're going to cut this. In fact, I'm going to bring out my little foot here. We're going to, no, letter size. So our George's just asked if it's letter size. Theirs is different to ours. A letter size is different to an A4, but the size we need is an 8.5 by 6 inches. So we're going to trim this to 8.5. So taking that over and trim that down. So that's 8.5. And then we're going to go 6 inches. There we go. No glasses again, Ben. I'm a nightmare, aren't I?
Well, I'm not even going to say anything this time because I tell you every time. I'm sick of mentioning it, Debbie, if I'm being honest.
Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut another piece of card because we need these. We're going to cut this to 8.5. So we already know that that is 8.5 inches. Have I cut that? Let me just double check because it's this piece that is 8.5. I was thinking then I've cut that wrong. So we've got our piece that's 8.5 inches and we're going to cut this piece to 2.25 inches.
Right.
So just trim in, and in fact that is 2.25 inches, so I haven't got to do that. I wasn't really thinking about that very well, was I? So we've got our 2 pieces of card. So I will just recap. We've got our 8.5 by 6 inches and our 8.5 by 2.25 inches. Okay, so they're our first panels that we've got. The next piece that we need, so we're going to take this piece of card, so we're using up all our scraps, is we're going to do the pop-up element, and that is, so I'm going to bring in my scoreboard at this point. And only because the piece of card that I worked out we needed doesn't have the score line on the guillotine. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our scoreboard,
okay,
and we're going to come in and score that at 2 7/8 of an inch. So that's just one before the 3. So we're going to trim that one off. And then on the other side, I'm going to come in and we're going to do it at 1 7/8 of an inch. And I'm just going to put a little, well, in fact, we could put it there. So what we're actually doing is scoring our piece there. So just going to go over that again. We're going to take a piece of card and we want to score it at 2 7/8 of an inch. So you count in 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, score down, and then turn that round, and then we're going to do 1 7/8 of an inch. So your 1 inch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's our 7. So this is just an odd bit of off bit of card. So any piece of card, we're not scoring the cards that we've just cut.
Oh, okay.
Just to reiterate, yes, we are not scoring those cards just yet. So we've cut off, and I'm going to go through all that again. But first of all, let's just finish this piece, and then we will go through those pieces of card. The only reason I'm scoring that is because we can't cut 2 7/8 of an inch. So if I pop that on there, you'll see what I mean. It's literally, I could just say to you, it's just over 2 3/4.
Right.
But that's not giving us a really precise. So, but what it is, it's 2 7/8 of an inch is what we want. And we're going to cut that, and then we're going to cut that at 1 7/8 of an inch. And again, that's just over the 1 1/4. So hopefully that makes sense. So we end up with this square piece. And it's this square piece that fits perfectly the panel that we need it to be.
Okay.
Because anything with the wiper card, it's about being able to, so if I bring this back in, we need that card to have enough room at the top, but also be able to tuck itself
down,
right down. So it has to be sort of precise size for it to sort of pop up and down.
So can you just recap on those measurements again then?
Absolutely.
So we're all...
Yeah, and what
there.
I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my pieces of card over here, which makes it a lot easier. So I've wrote all on here. So to start with, we're cutting our card 8.5 inches by 6 inches down, okay? And then we're going across, I've done that on the back, we're going across 8.5 inches and 2 1/4 down. And then our little piece here, we've actually cut 2 7/8 of an inch by 1 7/8 of an inch.
Right, okay.
And that's the 3 pieces of card that you will need.
Should we just read a few comments and just give everyone a little bit of time just to
Yeah,
catch up with that? I think it
absolutely.
was that third little piece there that people were just getting perhaps a little bit confused
Yes, and it's
with.
just because of the sizing. So literally that piece is 2 7/8 of an inch by 1 7/8 of an inch.
All right, well, let's just give you a little second to catch up with that. We've got loads of comments already coming in, so we'll just do a few hellos. Diane's in from Traverse City, Michigan. Kimberly is in from a rainy North Carolina. Winnebeth from West Virginia. Elizabeth from Texas, and Mary Pat 1000 says good morning from a sunny Montana. So excited for the show, says Michelle. Patty says, working so I can't craft along. I will save the show so I can do it later. I can't wait to see it. I think this has been one of the most eagerly anticipated craft alongs because so many of you bought the collection. Michaela says, hi Ben and Debbie, excited to be doing my first craft along. We'll make sure you send in your pictures at the end of the show. We would love to see them. And Khaki Blue on YouTube says, my first participation craft along, retirement rocks. For all of you that are in, do make sure that you send in pictures at the end of the show because we want to see what you have been up to. Michelle just saying, Debbie is the queen bee. And Gilmore saying, you've changed, Ben. Yeah, I was wearing the Christmas shirt earlier, but I thought the yellow would obviously suit the Bee-Youtiful collection a little bit more than a shirt adorned with Father Christmas and a load of snowmen. Let's just quickly repeat for you, then I think everybody's beginning to catch up, just looking at the comments, but just to repeat and make sure you know exactly where we're at, just that first little stage again, Debbie.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for that comment, because do you know what, Ben? My italic name, Deborah, because I'm a Deborah, is Queen Bee.
Yes.
Means Queen
I remember
Bee.
you saying that last time we were here.
I know.
And I didn't
That's
believe
cool.
you.
No,
No, it was Debbie
true.
Robinson. Debbie told me that.
Well, that's because she's a Debbie as well, isn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're both Debbies. I wonder if our Debbie is a Deborah, because I don't know that.
I don't know that either.
Yeah, she said, and I just shortened mine to Debbie IE, and she shortens hers to Debbie with a Y. So, but she could be a Deborah. So yeah, Deborah, which is DBORAH,
Yeah.
is Queen Bee.
Well, there you go. Not
Queen
only a
Bee.
craft along, but all the information you would want about the name Deborah and bees as well. More
Let
to come
us
with
know
Debbie.
what your name, the meaning of your name.
I know what the meaning
There
of my
you
name
go.
is, Benjamin.
What's that?
It means the son of my right hand.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what it means.
son of your right hand.
As in, it's like a biblical name, isn't he? The son of my right hand.
Ah, that's what yours means. There
Yeah.
you go. Well, let us know what yours is. That would be interesting.
It would.
Right, so I've just took a piece of, so it doesn't matter whether you are a letter size or a A4 size. I've took my A4 stamping card and I'm going to trim it to 8.5 inches. And then I'm going to turn that round and we're going to cut that at 6 inches. And that is your first piece.
And we're just repeating here, aren't we?
We're just repeating, This piece here should already be the size that you need it to be. We're actually doing it, yes, so just under 2 1/4. So that's 2 1/4, and that'd be by your 8.5. So you keep those. So you've got 2 pieces of card. With your other piece of scrap card that you've got left over, we're actually going to cut this, and I'm going to leave out the scoring because I think that's what was confusing people. We're going to cut this. We're going to go to 2 3/4 on my guillotine, and then I'm just going to go up 1 increment, so just a little bit up, and we're going to trim that to size. And then I'm going to do the same, but we're going to do this one at 1 3/4 and take that up just 1 increment. So 1 little bit on there, and that gives us our little tab. So that should leave you with 3 pieces of card like that. Okay, so do we think we're all up to date and everyone's got their measurements sorted?
I think so. There were a few comments going back maybe 4 or 5 minutes about the measurements, but I think now we've seen that again and we've had a bit of time just to cover it off. I think we are all up to speed, aren't we? I think. Good, excellent news.
Brilliant.
Okay.
So now we're going to do our scoring. So with this small piece, what we want to do is to create a score line across. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place this up to, I'm going to put it onto my number 2. And all I'm going to do, where my where my 3/4 of an inch is, I'm just going to put a little notch. And then I'm going to do exactly the same where that little notch is, at 3/4 of an inch. So I'm putting it like 2, I hope I'm explaining this well. We just want to get 3/4 of an inch on each side. And then once you've put your little notches there, you could use a pencil. I'm going to line that up to my score line here, and I'm going to score that line. So where I've put that notch, where the other notch is, I'm going to go across. Okay. So all we're doing is making a little triangle in our bottom corner, and we're going to fold that backwards. So that's all you need to do, fold that score line backwards. Okay. You don't even really need to score, but to keep it straight, you need to score right on each side. So we've got that going down. So nice and simple there. So I'm just going to burnish that line in, and that's your first piece done. Then I'm going to bring in my other 2 pieces. So on your biggest piece of card, we're going to put our 6-inch line against our scoreboard, and we're going to come in and we're going to score at 5.5 and 7. So 5.5, score down, and then 7. And that gives us our 2 score lines. Okay, and then with that one, what we're going to do is fold our first one in and burnish, and then fold the next one out and burnish that one.
Okay.
Okay, so nice and easy. I will repeat those steps. So that's 5.5 that we scored at, and 7. And I'll repeat that all again when we've done it all, as we've got those 2 extra pieces. Then we've got our longest piece. And with the short end, we're going to pop that up to here. But this time, we are going to score this at 1.5. So 1.5 inches and 3 inches. Just down like that. And this time, we are going to fold this line up. So you're folding that down. And burnish this one, and then fold this one across. Okay, and don't worry, I'm going to completely repeat all of those steps again on those extra pieces that we cut out.
Okay.
So that gives you your 2 parts.
Yes.
And your piece which is folded. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat all them again so you followed that completely. Our biggest piece of card, we're going to score that at 5.5 inches. And 7 inches. And then we're going to fold that one in and burnish, and then fold out. So you should be getting pieces of cards that replicate my pieces here.
Yes.
So you've got this piece on that end. And then with the biggest piece, we're going to come in and score at 1.5 inches and 3 inches. And then we're going to fold that piece back, so you've got that piece coming up, and score that, and then fold this bit down and burnish there. Okay. And that gives you then that piece. And then what we've got is our square piece of card, and we want to measure up 3/4 of an inch here and 3/4 of an inch along the bottom. So the way I do that is I just pop that onto one of my score lines, go in at the 3/4 inch, make a mark. I'm going to then turn that round, let me pop that onto the 3, and then I'm going to come in and score down there. and I'm not scoring, so I'm just making a mark so we can then
Make
pop
the score and
our
fold it,
score
yeah.
line and fold that, and
Okay.
your bottom corner will go back like that. Okay, so we should have then our 3 pieces scored like so. Okay, all good?
I think so. It's just a case again of repeating those measurements, and I think we are all up to speed. Lots of chat still coming in, by the way. Lots of love the fact we've got Rhonda and Jenny on the show as well. We'll chat more about that in just a bit. Lee just saying, good morning, Ben and Debbie. I love this set. I've had it since the beginning, and I still haven't used it. I really need to get that time. Excited to see more projects. Never getting tired of it. As I say, Sharon saying, hello everyone, been so long since I've gotten to be here in person. Love Ben and Debbie and being here with all of you. What a great start to the day. Plenty of chat about those paper pads as well, and plenty of chat about the meanings of your names as well, which will drop in through the show. Let's just quickly show you the collection though, in case you have not seen it yet and you do want to grab it. It's a great deal today, $79.99 or $112. Basically, it is just jam-packed with craftiness. This is the one, Honeybee, that myself and Craig were chatting about earlier on, and we think it reminds us very much of a certain honey-loving bear. But the fact you've got that honey pot there and the beehive going on. What I love about that though is the fact again that you've got all of the dies to be able to cut out your stamped images, and it's something so different, isn't it? That one is available for you for $12.99 or $19.95 if you want to go for that individually. All of these, of course, though, come within the set. This is your Builder Bee. This one we saw earlier on with Craig on Wake Up Call, and again, all about stamping the various pieces of this image out to be able to create this gorgeous Builder Bee. Individually, that is $4.99 or $9.95. Platinum price $3.99 or $7.96. So you can see how you can build up your own sort of bee bundle, if you like. And if you spend £40 or $40, you will save that extra saving as well. Bee Blooms is the next one. And again, this is so stunning. That flower can be whatever colour you want it to be, really, but you've got that gorgeous floral piece there, and then the bees as well included in that collection. Again, all of the dies to be able to cut out your image, save all of that fussy cutting, which is just brilliant. And then we've got, well, some absolutely gorgeous dies as well. Bumbling in the Flowers. How gorgeous is that? You talk about one-pass wonders, dies which are going to allow you to create those gorgeous apertures. Lovely if you like your paper piecing, if you love making your shaker cards, your box lids, however you want to do it. That is gorgeous for $10.39 or $15.96 as a platinum member. And then you've got your Sweetest Honeycomb, Sweetest Honeycomb, honey, what? Comb. Sweetest Honeycomb. Thank you. Again, that is available individually for you. Really lovely die. We've got your little Be Happy sort of edgeable included in there as well, which is just so super cute, with those little bees flying along there. It's $5.59 or $7.96 individually. And then we're moving on. Well, I say we're moving on. We've got more stamps and embossing folders in here too. Bees in the Nature is your next one. This is a cut and emboss folder. All the details we're flashing up on the screen for you are for all of the individual items. So if you want to go for that one individually, it's $10.39 or $11.96. We've got your smaller Bees and Flowers embossing folders there. So potentially if you've got one of our smaller machines, that's obviously going to go quite nicely through your Mini as well. That's £3.19 or $6.36 for platinum members. Then, missed another stamp and die set here. Beehive, Ben. Come on, Beehive. Look at that one, gorgeous. Again, all of the stamps, all of the dies to be able to create your own little beehive, apiary, if you like. £10.39 and $15.96 is the platinum price on that. Then we've got your Bee-Youtiful sentiments, and these are really lovely actually, and there's so many sentiments there for whatever the occasion. You've got things that say just because, you've got little hellos in there, you've got little be happies, be nice, be honest, be happy, be you. Aww, you are so sweet. There's loads there actually, and I just think having those bee sentiments there as well lends this set even more to send out cards and projects for whatever the occasion. We've then got your gorgeous paper pad. There are 40 sheets within this pad, and I'll quickly flick through these for you. But I mean, seriously, it's one of those sets again where you've got gorgeous patterns. One side, you've got sheets that you can cut into as well. You've got sheets like here, for example, where you could use your glossy accents if you've got those. We haven't got those in stock currently. I mean, here, this one is almost like a 3D effect. Just absolutely stunning, and double-sided as well. The great thing about all of these, as I just show you some more of the pattern papers, is that you don't ever have to worry about what works with what, because everything is just perfectly thought of. Love all of the ginghams in there, the spotted dots. You've got kind of like your wood effect there, which is, I guess, is sort of like your beehive. There's just plenty to be getting at. And as well as the paper pad that you're going to get, which, as I say, has got, it's 48 sheets. I did say 40, but it's actually 48 double-sided sheets that you're going to get. On top of that, you've also then got your pearlescent cardstock pad as well. And guess what? Again, these all work perfectly with the pattern paper, so there's no kind of thought behind what goes with what. It's just all done for you. That's $11.99 or $15.96 available for you individually as a platinum member. However, if you like everything that I've just shown you there, you can go for the full bundle, and that's where the main value for money is, because you're saving over £26, over $52, and platinum members get another 20% off as well. Right. If you want to grab it, get this in your basket. Don't forget you've got a free 2-hour craft along as well, which you can watch once your goodies are delivered. But let's go back to our Debbie, I think, just for a quick recap.
Yeah, just a quick recap so everyone's up to tune with what I've got in front of me here. So our first piece of card, we are going to trim to 8.5, let me just get my measurements to make sure, yeah, 8.5 by 6 inches, and that is scored at 5.5 by 7. Then we've got another piece of card which is 8.5 inches by 2.25, and that is scored at 1.5 and 3. And then we've got our little piece here which is 2 7/8 by 1 7/8, and you're going to fold the bottom corner in by measuring up 3/4 of an inch each side, and that gives us our perfect little score line there. Okay, so that's where we should be up to. We're then going to start our mats and layers. So what I've done is to make it really simple. We're going to do each piece of card at a time. So I'm going to bring in a piece of the brown card. You can use your black, your green, your yellow, whatever you want to mat and layer it up with. Okay. So we're going to take our first sheet. Now the first sheet, we're going to trim this. The first piece that we need, we're going to trim to 5.25 by 5 3/4. So again, bringing in my guillotine. Now this one piece of card will be able to do all your bottom mats and layers, so you're only using one piece of card for this. So we want it at 5.25. So 5.25, trim that down, and we're going to do that by 5 3/4. Okay. So 5 3/4. And we're going to do this step by step so we don't get you confused with any measurements. All right. So we're going to bring in our biggest piece of card, and this piece will then mat and layer perfectly into this section, so you can see, with just a little white border all the way round the edge. Okay, so I'm just going to recap on that. So cut this by 5.25 by 5 3/4, and we're going to attach that to the inside. So you can use whatever you've got at hand. I've got my tape pens. Okay. So I'm going to pop that in with my tape pen and run that down. And stick that onto our inside. And that's the thing as well, if you are, perhaps making the card and haven't got the exact collection, you can use your own papers and your own colours. Dieta just saying, I don't have the bee collection, but I thought this card would work well with butterflies. Absolutely. Oh, yes,
use
definitely.
Whatever papers you want. It's just the kind of concept of the card. Great if you've got the Bee-Youtiful collection and you can do it, word for word, but if not, if you want to change it, it's entirely up to you. Absolutely. So the next thing we're going to do these two side panels. So popping that to the side, we're going to bring our guillotine back in again. Now obviously we want a 5 3/4 again. So 5 3/4, trim that down, but this time we just want 1 1/4. So go to our 1 1/4 and trim that down. And again, 1 1/4, because we need 2 pieces of them for our 2 panels. Okay, pop them out, and then we're going to glue those pieces on.
Yeah, after last time, because when I did mats and layers before, I did all the mats and layers and all the pattern mats and layers, and then we were getting all confused.
Even you were
then.
getting confused.
Yeah,
I know what you
absolutely.
mean.
So I just figured, actually, let's just simplify it, because at home I would do this.
Yeah.
So I thought, actually, this is what we should do on our craft along. Just
Yeah.
do each piece as we go along.
And just to say, again, the other thing is, it's lovely that so many of you are crafting along with us, but if you get to the point where, hopefully you're not, but if you get to the point where you're like, oh, I'm just getting totally stuck, and you feel like you're getting behind, we're going to try and, we're slowing it down as much as we can. We're repeating things as much as we can, but if you get to the point where you do get really, really stuck, you can always come back and watch this later on as well. That's the great thing. This isn't just going to disappear in an hour and a half's time. It's there for you afterwards as well. Or I don't know, if you get interrupted halfway through the craft along for whatever reason, you can always come back to it later.
Absolutely. So that's our first piece here.
That's outrageous behaviour. Georgina's just gone, oh, that's a great idea, because then we can just speed through your talking.
Right, so with this piece here, now remember when we scored it at 1.5 and 3 inches, we folded up here and here. So this one comes up. So what we need to do is do our panels for each one of these. So we're going to start with this biggest panel. So let's pop those to the side. I'm then going to bring in my biggest piece of card, and then we're going to trim our panels for that. So this time we need 5 1/4. So we're going to trim that to 5 1/4. I don't know what we did before. Well, I suppose we just had rulers and measurers, didn't we, before? But it's
What a
so much
nightmare.
easier now we have
Yeah.
our guillotine. And then we're going to trim that to 2 inches. Okay, so 2 inches down.
Okay.
And again, let's bring that in, and we will attach that to the side. That will fit perfectly in this piece here. And all the time we're leaving just that white border all the way round. I've got I'm massive on borders with rims, because I feel like it just adds lots of interest.
Borders with what?
Borders with rims.
Oh, rims.
Rims, yeah. So you have like that white rim, and,
Yeah.
and you're mat and layering basically. I
Yeah.
do like to mat and layer and having that sort of rim around the edge.
Just gives it more depth, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, it gives it total depth. And then we're going to do these 2 pieces here. So again, I can use this same piece of card, because I know that we've got that same measurement here. So this measurement is 5 1/4, and this time we need to cut this. I don't need that measurement, do I? That was silly. Forget that. We've got small pieces. So this time we're doing them 2 inches by 1 1/4.
Okay.
So I'm going to go in 2 inches and cut that piece of card down. And then we're going to go 1 1/4. And then another one at 1 1/4.
Okay. And Linda, just to answer your question, yes, all the craft alongs are held forever. The best thing to do, Linda, honestly, is to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's where you've got everything, and you can come back to it. You can make your own little playlists as well, so you can almost like store everything in order, and you've got it there. And always we'll do a craft along after a new launch as well. It's usually like a couple of weeks after. This launched on the 25th of June, I think I want to say. So you'll normally find within a couple or 3 weeks we'll be doing a craft along as well. So you've always got that. But yes, YouTube is the place to go.
And then attach our other one down. And apologies to those that craft quickly as well, because I know that you sometimes have to sort of wait for us as well. But it just makes sure that everybody's in line with each other.
Yeah.
And there we go. So we've got our 2 pieces all done. So you can see our bridge part is really starting to take shape.
Fab.
So it doesn't take long at all to get those pieces in and to trim all those measurements. And it's so important to have those right. So our last piece that we've got to do is this piece here. So what I am going to do is we're going to bring this in, and we're going to cut this. And what I'm going to do with this one, just because we need our brown card, is a little less than 2 3/4. So I'm going to go to 2 3/4, and then just come down 1 increment and trim that. And then we're going to turn that round, and we're going to trim that to, let me just get my measurements, 1 3/4. So 1 3/4. Just here. So this one is going to mat and layer onto your one that's got that tab.
Oh, okay.
But what I want to do is that let's just bring this off. We want to trim this tab away. So what I am going to do is hold that up to there, and we're going to just fold that over with there.
Got you.
And then what we're going to do is trim that off, but just in front of the line. So that gives us our little measurement then without having to measure too much.
Did you say that bit's for the wiper element again, is it?
Yes. So trim that off, and then that will give you your mat and layer, just like that.
Fine.
Okay, I can see, because I've done that, I can see that knee is just tied in up on there. So all I'm going to do is come in and cut that down a little bit more on that side, just so I know we've got a little bit more straight. But honestly, this piece at the base, because this will be your base bit, you won't even see this. But there you go, we have that perfect mat and layer for those, and I'm just going to glue that one into place.
All right. Thank you for all the messages coming in. I think we're as I say, we're all about there, aren't we? Nona on YouTube is saying, I don't do quick anymore in anything, which is good.
Me neither.
At least the good thing is, if you are ahead of us and you are kind of feeling like you're waiting, at least you can quickly, I don't know, pop the kettle on or something like that. But hopefully, as I say, we are going along at a nice pace for you. Khaki Blue has just said the fold back on the base should be equal. Mine are not.
The fold on the base should be equal. So what you need to do is measure 3/4 of an inch and 3/4 of an inch down. But do you mean on the base, this one?
Yeah, I don't know. It just says on the base.
So what I would suggest is take it to if you've got a glass mat or your guillotine, you should have an 8 inches by 6 inches. And 8.5 inches by 6 inches. It should have a score line of 5.5 and a score line of 7. And then your base pieces here, your main strip is 5 1/4 by 5 3/4, and then these tabs here should be 1 1/4 by 5 3/4, and they will fit perfectly. So just check on your measurements there.
All right, should we take a little pause for a second? In this point, if there's anything that you want to ask us, anything you want to throw away as well, you can let us know. And let me tell you about some other deals that we've got coming up. Facebook and YouTube is where you need to comment if you want to ask any questions, if you want to let us know how you're getting on. We've obviously got our 2 crafters crafting along with us as well, who we'll chat to in just a little while. But if you are watching this and go, well, hang on a minute, I'd quite like to make this card, but I have got none of the items that you are currently using, that's where you need to go for this full collection, because you will get everything that you're seeing here. You've got all of the dies included. You've got embossing folders in here too. You have got cut and emboss folders. You've got stamps included. You've got a paper pad. You've got your textured card pad as well. It is a jam-packed collection, which I'll go through for you in more detail in just a little bit. It was so super popular when we launched this on the 25th of June. I think the majority of people have probably already got it. If you haven't, it's a great day to jump in and grab it, because everyone saves $26.89 or $52.40. However, if you're within Club Inspire, and particularly if you're a Platinum member, you'll get that 20% off. So £79.99, $112 is the deal. If you just want to go for elements of this collection and do your own kind of card projects, then you can do. Spend £40 or $40, save an extra 10%, so you can make up your own little bundle as you go along. The other thing I just wanted to point to your attention, which you might want to grab, is the MIDI. Now, this deal is amazing, and I stumbled across this yesterday for the first time, and on my notes it said a very rare deal, and it is rare. I'll tell you for why. The MIDI is just back in stock. It's one of those machines that kind of comes into stock and goes out just as quickly, and normally we do a great price, so $55.99 or $71.96 for Platinum members. When you consider it's £100 or $128 worth, that is a great buy. However, today you can grab the machine, all right, and it normally comes with a folder and your plastic purple shim, but this deal is phenomenal for the fact that we're going to give you 2 more folders and another purple plastic shim, so you can tuck those away for when you need them. So you've got replacement straight there, and you're also going to get your storage bag included as well. That's why this is such a great buy, and why loads of these flew out of the door yesterday. It's a great machine to start with. As I've said, if you don't want to spend a huge amount of money, you just want to get into crafting and get a machine that's going to do the job for you, but you don't want to be spending a lot of money, this is brilliant and great for portability as well. $55.99 or $71.96 is the deal on it. It is our hero tool from yesterday's Creative Cravings, but grab it whilst it's still here, because that will either sell out or the deal will disappear. So if you fancy it, make sure you grab it. Right. We've got two crafters crafting along with us today across the other side of the pond. So let's check in and see how they're both getting on. We'll go first of all over to Illinois and say hello to Rhonda. It's been quite nice, Rhonda, because I've got you at the bottom of my screen here. So I've managed to see you beavering away there. How have you been getting on? Are you up to speed with everything?
I'm up to speed.
Excellent stuff. Oh, hang on a minute. I think we've lost Rhonda. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Is she there? Can you hear me, Rhonda?
Hello.
Excellent news. So you're up to speed and everything's going well, yes?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Excellent stuff. Lots of people have been commenting as well how nice it is that people that you chat with on our Facebook page or YouTube, they finally get to see a sort of a face behind the name. And also lots of people, particularly with you, Rhonda, commenting about how tidy it is behind you there. Is the craft room always that tidy, or have you had a special tidy up just because you were coming on the TV?
Well, that half of the room is tidy.
And you're not going to spin the camera around for us to have a look at the other side?
Oh, no. No.
You're obviously enjoying the craft that we're doing right now, but have you made lots of other projects already with the Bee-Youtiful collection? Have you made any other cards so far?
I have. I've made a few things, yes.
Yeah, what kind of things?
Would you like to see them?
Oh, well, yeah, we can do if you like. Oh, actually... we can't in a minute because your screen has been frozen. I'll tell you what we'll do. We will have a little bit of a look at your cards later on when we manage to get the screen back. And I'm just being told that Jenny's frozen as well. You've both been frozen out. It's like a game show, this, Debbie, isn't it?
Oh, no.
I'm just being told Jenny is back with us, I believe. So maybe we can cross over to Jenny. Let's just see. Jenny, yes, Jenny is there, which is good news. Excellent stuff. How are you getting on, Jenny? Are you enjoying things so far?
Oh, I am very much. Yep.
Excellent news. And I was just asking Rhonda there about the collection. Is this a collection that you've been crafting a lot with since you've received it?
Actually, I have very much. I have quite a few cards behind me that I've done.
Yeah, wow. Who do you tend to make all of your cards for? Do you make to sell, or do you make for friends and family?
Kind of both, but a lot of times I wind up using them for gifts for family and friends, and so when I go to sell something, I have to make more.
Yeah. And how long have you been crafting for? Is it something that you've always done, or have you just sort of come across us and then started crafting over the last few years?
No, I've been crafting, ever since I was a little girl. We've always been creative and done things. So yeah, I'm a lifetime crafter.
Yeah, and I can see again, just behind you there, you've obviously enjoyed collecting a lot of our boxes as well. They're all very neatly stored on the shelves behind you. Excellent stuff. Well, listen, we're going to get cracking again with the next part of the demo. I think we're all ready and round to go. I think we've got Rhonda back as well, which is good news. Debbie, are you ready over the other side of the studio?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
You know what? I just adore crafting along in real time, and it's really nice, even for me, to just stop and take that break, have a sip of water, see what our guests are up to. So hopefully you've got all your pieces now, and we've got that matten layer on. So our next thing we're going to do, we're going to come down that little bit more, and we're going to take our papers and start to matten layer over here. So let me bring in my paper pad. So after having a look through, I love this one that was right at the back. So I'm going to go for this one here, because we're going to be using one of our die cuts. So I wanted something bright enough that would show through, but with not too much pattern. So we're going to be using this sheet here. Again, you can choose whichever one you love the most, and whichever one as well that you don't mind using the back of, because obviously we won't see the back. So we're going to take this bit, and to start off with, I'm going to start with my borders. I used actually a different one in my demo, so I'm just going to have a quick flick through here again. This is the one, same one, but look, it's in yellow. So, but I am going to bring in the green piece instead, because we're using a yellow die cut, and the green shows that off really well. So I'm going to just switch that out, and I want to do my borders to start with. So we're going to bring in our base piece of card, and we're going to start with these borders, because these will work beautifully down the side here, and then it frees up this space that we can use onto this panel.
Okay.
So we're going to start off with bringing your guillotine again, and this time we're going to cut our borders. So our borders need to be, now because we cut our brown cardstock, we cut them at 1 1/4 by 5 3/4. So this time we're going to go 1 by 5 1/2. So I'm just going to go down. Sorry, I'll cut the other side first, so because we want that 1 inch border. So I'm going to take it right to there, and I can look down. It's what I love about our guillotine, because I can look and see that straight line all the way down, hold that in place and snip that off. And then we're going to turn that round, and we're going to cut that border at 5 1/2 inches. And we'll do that again with that same piece of strip. Because we know we've got a 12 by 12 pad, I know that I've got the perfect size to fit with just that one strip. So just cutting that to 5 1/2 and trimming that down. And again, like we did before, let's glue these panels on before we do any more. So I'll recap on that again. Let me move my papers. Bring in this big piece of card. So your brown cardstock, we did 5 3/4 by 1 1/4, and our pattern ones, we're doing 1 by 5 1/2, and we're going to pop these into place.
Such a gorgeous paper pad, this, isn't it? I can see why people are buying
absolutely.
like, you know, the pad twice, 3 times over, 4 times. Our friend Christine was on earlier this morning saying I think she'd bought this quite a few times over. It's really gorgeous, and bees are so popular now, aren't they? Particularly in craft.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think bees have always had a place, and they've always been popular.
Yeah.
But since crafting's been around, I think they've become more and more. They're one of those things that we like to say are on trend, but actually they're always on trend.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're just a really nice one. And bees are friendly. Bees are... Well, until you annoy them.
Well, no, I was just laughing. I think I've told you before, but I'm still trying to teach my kids that bees are the friendly buzzers. You know, not so much the wasps and the flies, but whenever there's a buzz in our household, particularly my Daisy, like she's sort of running around the house.
Yeah.
Just,
yeah, absolutely. And next, Ben, we're going to do this one. So this one, our brown cardstock was 5 1/4 by 5 3/4. So our pattern paper is going to be 5 by 5 1/2. So I'm going to bring this one back in. But I am going to cut those bees out, so I'm just going to trim my bees off of this page, and then I'm just going to cut that. There we go, bring that across. So we want that for 5 1/2. So trimming that by 5 inches. And that will do our piece in the centre. So we'll take my guillotine away, bring this one back in, and then this one will fit absolutely perfectly into that centre part. So you can see how that really starts to take shape, and how these borders, doing your mats and layers so perfectly, work really well together. And if you do have trouble with your mats and layers, I'm not going to say too much, but let's just say we have something to help you coming out in the very near future. So a little bit of a tease there.
oh, can you say no more than that?
I'm not going to say any more than that, because I'm not sure if I should have even said that.
Oh.
Yes. But yeah, if you're like me and you have to do those precise measuring for your mats and layers, watch this space.
Okay, how big's the space?
Well, not long, not long. Okay, so that's your base layer done there, and you've got your first piece of card done. So then we're going to bring in this piece here, and we're going to do exactly the same. But we're going to just do these layers. So I'm going to use the pattern border, so we can use this border at the bottom. And this time, so our brown card going across for the bridge was 5 1/4 by 2. So our pattern papers are going to be 5 by 1 3/4. So bring your guillotine in, and we're going to cut that down to 5, just down to there, and then we're going to trim that off at 1 3/4.
Lots of love coming in for the papers whilst you're trimming. Papers are gorgeous. Absolutely love, says Isha, that you can get 4 great 6x6 panels from this, and with these sheet borders as well. And For Holidays Designs is saying, I love the wiper cards. Anything kinetic is always a hit with everyone.
Absolutely.
Cards
I
that do
love them.
stuff. But have I never seen a wiper card before?
Yeah, that is strange.
Never seen one.
Mind you, I've never made one, to be honest, not on air.
Ah.
I don't know, I've known about them. It's like anything, you forget that you can do them.
Yeah,
and you forget about them. I went through a stage of doing lots of wiper cards.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do them as like a box card with the wiper bit coming up at the top. And actually, I don't know why I'd not thought about doing it with the peekaboo dies when we've got them through, because they would work perfect with those. Yeah, absolutely perfect.
Little character popping up.
Yeah, which would, and you can do them on so many different things.
Yeah.
So yeah, once you've learnt the concept, and it is super easy, so once we get to that bit, because we have our wiper piece to do as well, and then we can put it all into play, and then we're going to do a bit of stamping, colouring, die cutting, so all good. So this piece here, our brown card is, no, it's not. I was going to say 5.5 inches. Definitely not that. It's 2 inches by 1 1/4. So we want 1 3/4 by 1 inch. So again, bringing these in. What I am going to do, I'm going to use the bottom piece of this one left. So we're going to bring that down, and my biggest piece is 1 3/4. So we're going to cut 1 3/4. And then we're going to trim that to 1 inch. Okay. Well, in fact, I'm going to trim that to 2 inches, and then I'm just going to cut that in half at 1 inch.
Yes.
And that gives us our 2 parts. Oh, there we go. So we've got our 2 pieces of card, so we can pop those on. And they will be our last bits there, and then we've just got our one little wiper element to do, which we will mat and layer to here. So again, sticking these pieces on. And it's just about, you know what's fun about cards like this, especially with your mats and layers, is finding bits of cards of interest. Like, so with these, you know, we've got this one sheet, which actually most of the sheet had just the spotty dots in the centre, but we've actually managed to use and make the composition of these look really awesome with still having those borders, but also having that gorgeous dotty papers in the middle.
Yeah, it's almost like having like a set of canvases, isn't it? The way
Yeah.
that you've done that.
Yeah,
Really,
totally.
really cute.
And there we go. So if I bring that in and that in, you can see everything then comes together using that one piece of 12 by 12, and it looks so pretty. And then our last piece here, which we can use this scrap piece of card, but if you haven't got a scrap piece of card left over, just cut another piece from your papers and then keep these for something else, because you'll have a scrap box, I'm sure. And we're going to trim this one. So for your pop-out piece, our brown card was 2 3/4 by 1 3/4. So we're going to do this 2.5 by 1.5.
Nona just saying, lots of bee chat. We have about 6 different species of bees in our garden, Ben. I've never realised how different they can be. I'm sure I heard on the radio the other day, something like 240 different species of bees. I might have got that wrong.
Oh, no, I think you're about right. There is a lot.
240.
Yeah.
And they're doing a big thing on one of the national radio stations here about getting people to make their gardens more bee-friendly. 20,000 what? 20,000 what? Species of bees?
That's a lot, isn't it?
20,000 species?
20,000.
Well, I got it very wrong then. There's me. Yeah, I think there's about 240 species. No, 20,000. Wow.
20,000. Wow.
That seems like a lot to me.
That does seem like a lot. But I think there is. I think there's, yeah, that seems like an awful lot. But
that must be worldwide, not in the UK, surely.
I know there is a lot of different species.
Ah, there you go. My fact was UK-wide. UK's 270. 240, I said. So that makes more sense. I knew I was there or thereabout. I was wrong, but I was 30 out rather than being 19,800 and something out.
So I'm cutting mine down a bit because it's not working in with my piece of brown card for some reason. And as I'm just laying it up, I can see that I need to cut more off of this side. So that angle there, I'm just going to run back in and turn that round. And that should then give me that perfect one. And like I said before though, don't worry too much about this bit because you won't see it anyway. That's the piece that's sort of hidden on your pop-up. So popping them to the side and gluing that one down. There we go.
Say hi to Michelle, who's watching from Georgia, who says, I love watching your videos every day. Thank you so much for giving me great ideas. Well, that is what we're here for.
Absolutely.
And if you can't craft along live today as well, don't forget you can watch this video back at a time to suit you on our YouTube page.
Right, we will do one more piece before we stop for a break.
Okay.
And we'll show you how we now attach this piece. So we're going to literally take this piece of card and we're going to turn it upside down. Now when you turn this upside down, this piece here needs to go on the bottom. So it needs that this will line across your top of your card and this fold is down there, okay? And then what will happen is when you glue it down, this piece will be the piece that comes up on the fold.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is glue just this tab here. So I'm actually going to bring in a wet glue. So I'm going to bring Gloria in. And the reason I want to use a wet glue is because it is the bit that comes up and down, so it really does pop. If you're using tape pen, just make sure that you massage that in to make it really sticky. And all I'm going to do, I've put my glue on there, but I'm also just going to tap that in and give that a little blow, because when tacky glue is left for a little bit, just maybe 50 seconds to a minute, it becomes more tacky. So when you go to stick it down, it will attach itself really well. So I'm just going to line it up to my edges and then pop that down and then just hold that triangle into place. Okay, so we're just going to pop that there and hold it down. And actually, I've just realised I needed to do it the other way. We need to put it, sorry, that's my fault, so I'm going to let that dry. I've made it look more complicated now, and it's very easy. So I'm still going to stick that triangle, we've done it right.
But at the bottom?
But it needs to go at the bottom, not the top.
I've got you.
Yeah. So again, I'm just going to let that just evaporate a little bit. And that won't make no difference because we won't see that, but we're going to put it at the bottom and that will line up. Yeah, because I turned it over, didn't I? And this now will be the top piece. So we're just going to hold that into place. So once I know that's stuck, I'm just going to make sure my other glue hasn't stuck. I'm just going to bring my fingers in and just hold that down to make sure that my tacky glue is set in that place. And so I'll show you that again. So you've got this piece here, which is going to be the bridge of your card, and then that bit will fold in. So like that, turn it upside down, and then your triangle part will go at the bottom there.
Right.
Okay, so then when we come to putting this down, that will slide back in. So can you see, as that goes in, this piece will then stick to your card. So when it pops out, let me shut this in. We're not going to stick it yet. That will then pop out.
Ah, that's really clever.
Yeah, very clever.
I was going to ask you like how you achieved the
simple.
pop-up, because it looked like it was just going to go to the side, so I was wondering whether you had to attach another bit of card to it, but it's just the fact that it's stuck down either end.
Yeah, and it's just because of the way that this piece moves, it makes it pop up.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, so very, very simple.
Yeah. Okay,
so yeah, and that's how far we've come. So you've got all your pieces matte and layered, turn upside down, and you want your triangle bit on the bottom here, because that will be the top when you turn it round. And then you just do that, and then when you bend this into place, so that will all come into place like that, you pop that down just to check it. We're not going to stick anything down yet because we're going to do some die cutting, and then that will just pop up.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, pop up every single time. Yeah, it's very clever, isn't it? And so simple.
I think it's my new favourite style of card, this.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah. Oh, I'm really pleased, Ben. It's nice to be able to do something different. And there's lots of people that don't know what a wiper card is. So it's nice to be able to show something. And actually, it's probably quite nice. It'd be interesting to see when Jenny last made a wiper card, because they are cards that people don't do all the time.
Yeah. Well, you can ask her in a minute. We'll definitely go back and check in on Jenny and Rhonda very shortly indeed. We just wanted to quickly show you the paper pad because the details details are on your screen right now. 48 sheets in total in this collection. And like we said, do you know what? There's so much in here as far as the fact that you've got all these different patterns. They are double-sided for you as well. But as Debbie's brilliantly demonstrated, you know, because there's so much interest and there's so much detail on the actual papers themselves, you've got so many different elements that you can snip into. You know, if you're wanting to kind of resize these, there's so many different ways to be able to do this and still have so much interest on the paper that you use. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. And remember, it's 48 sheets in total. That's just a few of the different patterns that you're going to get. Here's the others. And again, what I love about this is that everything coordinates beautifully for you. So, you know, like here, for example, if you wanted to match those two pieces up for a bit of matting and layering, you can do. Again, plenty of snippability. I mean, you've actually got 4 there, haven't you, really, on that sheet? But again, everything matches absolutely beautifully, and there are some really, really stunning designs. That one's almost got like a 3D effect to it there with the honeycomb shapes going on. But if to get a 48 sheet pattern paper pad wasn't enough, where everything colour coordinates and the backs and the fronts of the paper match beautifully, you can also then get your hands on the pearlescent cardstock as well, because again, if you look here, all of the colours work and match absolutely beautifully. So it's 24 sheets of your luxury pearlescent cardstock, 230 GSM, I want to say off the top of my head, $11.99 or $19.95, but all of the colours match perfectly. As you can see, you're just not going to be stuck for all of those mats and layers and colour palettes and colour matches within this collection. $11.99 or $15.96 is the price if you are a Platinum member. Also, just to mention as well, and we talked about these briefly on Wake Up Call, we like to make sure that, you know, if you are wanting to get the most out of your collections, we can put smaller bundles together for you as well. So we put some ink pad bundles together for you too, both quick dry and the opaque. This is the quick dry selection. So you're going to get 5 different colours, and we've selected these purposely so that they work with the colours that you've got within this collection. Normally £24.95 or £34.75. Platinum price is £15.97 or $22.94. You've got the Seal Brown, you've got your Spring Meadow, you've then got Straw Bale, also Honey Pot, and then you've got your Smoke Plume within those quick dries. And then we've got a selection of your opaque pigments for you as well. So sort of like your sticky ink, if you like, if you want to do more of your blending, if you want to do your techniques with your embossing powders, for example, then this is the collection to go for. And again, we've selected the colours purposely to work well with your Bee-Youtiful collection. So you've got your Seal Brown in there, Anthracite, also that Honey Pot is included in here too. There's the bee colours, look, because you've got the Honey Pot on the jet black, and on top of that we're also going to give you your Pine Tree as well. £15.97, $22.94 for Platinum members. And to make your collection go even further, we've even put together this really cute collection of Centura Pearl glitter card as well. You've got gold and you've got the black. See what we've done there? Gorgeous. You're going to get £5.42, $8.09 will give you 10 sheets of your gold, 10 sheets of the black. And remember, I just think our glitter card is the best for the fact that you get all the effects that you'd want from the glitter, but it's all encapsulated for you as well, so you don't have to worry about that shedding. And it's so usable as well. It really, really die cuts beautifully for you too. So £5.42, $8.09 for Platinum members, worth popping into your basket to make your collection go further. Also, worth telling you what's coming up a little bit later on. We have got a cartload. Myself and Craig going to be bringing you this at 7 o'clock tonight here in the UK, 2 o'clock East Coast. We've got a mystery bag.
Ooh, what's that, Ben?
Well, it's a mystery.
Are you not telling us?
No, I'm going to tell you now.
Oh.
If you tune into Wake Up Call earlier on, you'll know what's in it. It's bonkers.
Oh.
It is. I mean, I'll be surprised if there's a lot of stock left. But if you, let me just say, if you want to get into colouring and you love Spectrum Noir products and you want an absolute, what was Craig calling it? Absolute smacking deal, then this mystery bag, you'll want to see what's in it. But you'll have to wait until 2 o'clock Eastern Time. And then tomorrow morning, Wake Up Call is here. However, we have, it's not going to be me tomorrow morning. It is going to be George in with also Craig. And Samantha is back as well from our Evesham store. It's a bit of a higgledy-piggledy day tomorrow. I'll tell you more about it later on. But you'll want to tune in to Wake Up Call tomorrow because we've got the sneak peek of a brand new launch coming away at 3 o'clock. The Gnomes. I know. They're gnomes, Ben. You don't pronounce the G. Gnomes and gonks coming your way tomorrow. Tune into Wake Up Call to get a sneak peek of all of that. Right, we are going to reset and get ready to move on with the next part of the craft along in just a few moments' time. But before that, let's give you all a chance to get yourself a cup of tea or catch up on the craft along, and we'll come back after these messages. We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges, and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95, and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members, who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you, and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Crafters TV, and I'm here to show you how you can get the best deals and shop while you watch during our shows. The best way to watch us is always on Crafters TV. So head over to our homepage and go to Crafters TV Home, where you can see all of our shows, plus exclusive offers, and even shop while you watch. Now, if you want to get involved and comment along, you can head on over to our community pages. Come say hello, ask us some questions and chat along live with us. Or you can watch us on YouTube. Simply head to our Crafters Companion YouTube channel. Got a smart TV? You can even airplay our shows direct onto your big screen or stream us live through YouTube. We're constantly adding new and exciting shows to our schedule, so don't forget to check in. It's never been easier to have us in your living room. It's always fun here at Crafters TV, so come join us as we create every day.
I'm glad I'm not the only person that has never seen a wiper card before, because Debbie Tomlinson on YouTube has just said, I've never seen that. So cool. Can you please let me know as well on Facebook and YouTube if you're one of those people who's never seen a wiper card before, and join in with the amazement that I'm showing from this side of the studio, because I think they're brill. Claire just saying, oh, Claire Stanford Ashby, I knew there was someone's birthday today and it's yours. Hi everyone, it's my birthday today. I have no plans, so I decided I'd watch Craft Along, and I'm really enjoying the show, so thank you. Claire, happy birthday from all of us. Have a brilliant day. And Deborah Barnforth. Hello, Deborah, on Facebook.
Another queen bee.
Another queen bee,
yes.
And another Craft Alongerer.
Alongerer.
Deborah was with us a while back. Afternoon, everyone. I say a while back, it was probably 2 weeks ago. Afternoon, everyone from sunny Lancashire. Couldn't make Craft Along today because of appointment. I'm loving the look of the style of cards, so I'll watch it back and give it a go. Brilliant stuff. Loving all these positive comments. Loving the fact that you're all having a great time. But let's get going again. I think we've given you a long enough break. And I think we've kind of got, if there was a fiddly bit to do, we've kind of got the fiddly bit done, and now we're on to the fun bit.
I think mat and layering is everything people sort of, it's mats and layers, it's just scoring. But once you do it and it comes together and you get just really pretty results with your papers like this, they look amazing. So you should now have your mat and layered base, your mat and layered panel. When you turn it over, your piece with the triangle should be on the back like so. The bottom edge line up along your bottom edge here. So, and then we're going to turn that back over. So that's all ready to stick into place once we've now got onto all our exciting pieces. So in your brown card that you use, you will have a piece left over like this. So we're going to do some die cutting. Now, because I'm using my Gemini Junior, if you are new to crafting and watching along today, and you're thinking of treating yourself to a die cutting machine, we've got our Gemini Midian. I'm going to bring this in. It genuinely is the most easiest die cutting machine you will ever get your hands on. and that's because it has a one folder workability. You can cut into all 4 sides, so just turn it over, you can rotate these, and you've got all those sides to put your die cuts in. All you're going to do is put your card and your die cut into the center. You're going to then just run it through, offer it into the mouth. Now, unlike a electronic machine that would take it from you, this one we need to just turn the handle. So not a massive deal that we have to do, it just means we have to work a little bit harder to get our die cut in. But if you want something that's affordable and something that's quick and simple to do, this is for you. And with one cut, it will cut that out. I'm just going to give this a little tap to release it from my die, and you're going to get that beautiful die cut out. I love this one. Now, the reason I did my cards, I'm going to bring this back in 6 inches, is because that fits perfectly into that size. So this is a 6 by 4 inch. But then we had this space left over, so that's why we're going to cut a border out as well. But what I also want to do is make sure I'm taking all the pieces out of here. So I'm just going to use my pokey tool just to make sure all those darker pieces are out, because we're actually going to take another piece of card and we're going to cut a yellow out at the same time. So we're going to create a shadow. So just making sure, yep, so all of those are out. I'm going to pop all my die cut pieces into the bin. So popping those down. There we go. And then we're going to, first of all, actually, while I've got this at hand and we've got our border, we're going to cut the border die into that other piece. Yep. And bring our Gemini MIDI. So you can use whatever die cutting machine you've got to hand. I'm using the MIDI because it's the easiest, quickest, and it's right next to me. So we're just going to turn those handles and take that out. Again, I'm just going to give that a little knock to take all my pieces out. And that will take out that beautiful die. So we've got our border die there, which is gorgeous. And then we're going to take a yellow sheet of card from our book. And actually, I've already got a scrap piece, so I didn't want to go into another piece of my book when I had a scrap piece at hand. So I've got this scrap piece here, and we're just going to cut another one. I'm going to just trim that off. So let's just trim that to size. And then we're going to run that through. So again, using our folder, over we go, and straight through.
It seems like I'm not the only one new to the wiper card. Yeah, this wiper card is new to my eye, says Clarice. Sharon says, I've seen them on cards, but never seen how to make them. I've never seen it and can't wait to try it, says Kristin. And Sally says, I love that concept. Never heard of a wiper card before. That's why I watch CTV every day. You're the best and so entertaining.
Oh, that's really kind of you.
And Emily's saying, I've never seen this card before either. We'll definitely be making one. I think we should credit Debbie with the fact that she's brought back the wiper card to the masses. She's making wiper cards popular again.
Oh, that's good to know. It's quite difficult because we do quite a lot of craft-alongs now. Yeah. And it's, you know, as much as we want it to be doable to everybody, we also want to do something different sometimes as well. And sometimes we just want our basic cards, but we need just that little bit of oomph to them. And this card definitely does that. Right, so we've got all of our die cuts here. I'm going to now bring a scrap piece of paper, because what we're going to do is start to mat and layer. So I'm going to bring in these two. We're going to mat and layer our yellow one on top of our brown. So I'm going to bring in my dotty tape pen, and we're going to just add dots to the back here.
Okay.
So just all over, adding those down, and just covering all around there. And then what we're going to do is bring this over the top, but I'm going to leave just a little bit of a border. So I'm going to go in and lay that down just so I've got a bit of the brown showing.
Oh, it's a little drop shadow going on.
Just a little drop shadow.
Yeah.
And it does make a massive difference when you're, I would have liked it a little bit more on the top piece. I'm just going to bring this across a little bit more so we can see that. That's better. And then I'm going to go to the back, and then just with my scoring tool, I'm just going to rub down. And what that will do is just make sure all those dots stick to our panel. Now the next thing we need to do, because when I was doing this, I realised that because when you have a wiper card, so this is a really good tip to keep into mind, when I place this onto the back piece, which is what we're going to do, when you then pop your wiper card on here, when that pops up, it will catch onto here. So this is where your acetate comes into play. So we're going to create a window so it wipes, so almost like the wiper, like a windscreen wiper. So whatever you put in your die cuts behind, all you need to do is cover it with some acetate, and it creates that seamless flow then.
That's really clever.
So all we're going to do is cut our acetate. So this is just our heat-proof acetate because it's a nice thin weight as well. You don't want something thick that's going to make your card chunky. All we want is something that's glassy enough for it to gloss over. So we're going to bring in the guillotine, and I'm going to cut that 6 by 4 inches. So go to my 6 inches. You might not be able to see, but I can just about see it. And then we're going to go to 4 inches. Now when you're sticking this down, you want to put minimal glue on here so it's not seen. So what I've done is I'm going to bring in that piece back, and I'm just going to use my dotty tape pen again, and I'm going to pop that just down the sides. That's all you need to do, and it really does hold it. It works.
Yeah.
And you've got minimal glue so you don't take no notice of it. So pop in that there and onto there. And then we're going to attach I'm going to turn that, in fact, let me fold this and then you'll be able to see the acetate. And then we're going to attach that onto the top. So just on the bottom and to the top. And there we go. And then again, like I did before, turn it over and just really rub that down. And that will just make sure that that all sticks perfectly onto the acetate and the top part. And then all you need to do then, because we've got our shiny coating, we just need to in the back. Now you don't want to put glue in here again because you will be able to see it through your acetate. So again, put it down the sides, but this time you can actually place it into the pieces you can't see. So you can add that little bit more glue. So we're just going to run that around and just fill in those pieces where it won't be seen. And then we can attach that inside our card.
Brilliant. Yeah, I love how this is all coming together now. Have you got enough time to finish this off, Debbie? Do you
Yeah,
reckon 40
absolutely.
minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like we're into the home straight on this, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this is just all the fun stuff now.
Yeah.
And again, I like to turn that over and just make sure all around those edges that stuff. For me, this is what seals it all and really stops it from falling apart.
Yeah. How long does it take you to come up with these ideas when you do craft alongs?
I have to be honest, I'm a total Pinterest freak.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. I'm not going to lie. These are not my ideas. These are ideas that I get off of Pinterest. And they're ideas I've done wiper cards in the past.
Yeah.
And I wanted something kinetic, so I just type in kinetic cards and see what sort of comes up, what's there. Yeah, and then there were some wiper cards, and I thought, I haven't done one of those for years. That will be good. We'll do a wiper card. And then the other thing we're going to do the same with our border,
yeah,
which is going to go down the side here. So that's going to create our border, and we're going to put our tape on the side.
Just, I think a few people are asking just to recap where you stuck what as far as those last die cuts and the acetate were concerned.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll have a look at that again in a second for you.
Yep, should we do that now?
Yeah.
So once you've cut your die cuts, I've already stuck them on and I haven't got any extra bits, but once you've had your die cut out and you've mat and layered, in fact the only way to do it, so I am going to cut it again because I don't want to confuse anyone, so let's just grab another sheet of card and we'll just run through that again, which is never a problem. There we go.
I think most people are up to speed, but yeah, it's just good to make sure that we're not leaving
Absolutely.
any stragglers behind, and that's what these are all about. So
yes, definitely. So let's just go back to this. We'll run through it quickly, but really, like you say, it's just to see where we've put all that tape. I'm going to just bring in my mat and I'm going to run that through. Oh.
Crafty Angie just saying, Debbie, loving this card. I will make this one later today. I think lots of you as well have been just tuning in to have a look at what we're doing. And of course, if you've already got the collection, you haven't had time to craft along today, you can come back and watch this and craft with us later on. And lots of lovely comments coming through as well, which is great. And as I say, we're here to recap for you. We're here to take time. And as I say, if it takes the whole 2 hours, it takes the whole 2 hours. So there's the first bit cut.
Right, so once you've got that cut, you then want to cut your acetate. So you cut your acetate to the size that you want.
Yeah.
So got my acetate. You then want to turn it over, and what I would suggest is doing all your whole backing with your dotty tape pen. So you would create all your dots. So let me just bring that's my piece done there. Bring this in and do your dots. So you would do all your dots all the way over and stick that to your acetate. So just on there. So once that's done, make sure you give that a good rub down so that sticks on the back. Then when it comes to putting it into your card, you then just run your dots down the side of, on all sides, because then you won't see it, and also fill in the gaps. So you can actually, can you see where the honeycomb solid parts are? Just add your glue to them. And then you would just need to then stick that over the top. I've done it the wrong way, haven't I? I stuck that onto the acetate. So I've probably confused you more. Let me take that away. This piece goes over the top of your acetate.
Wasn't there another layer as well?
So there was 2 layers.
Right.
So Ben, let me just put this down. Where's my die? So cut 2 of these, 1 out of brown and 1 out of yellow.
Yep.
You will then mat your yellow one onto your brown one. Yep. And then once you've done that, you will then just add dots to the sides of your die cut, on all the sides, not in the center, because you will see those dots, and then you will take your acetate and place that onto the top.
Right.
So that will give you your acetate for the front.
Okay.
Then you turn it round and glue in between, but don't glue it all over, because those dots will go onto your acetate.
Got you.
Okay, and then you will stick it in. So you will stick it onto the front.
Yep.
So if I just show you, I don't think we can pick it up, but you can sort of just see, it's just one piece of acetate.
Yeah.
We can just see a few dots. There we go, look on the bottom there. So if you covered the whole thing, you would be able to see that.
Yeah.
But if you just do it round the sides, you won't notice that at all on your actual
And
image.
that acetate, like you stressed earlier on, is almost like the windshield, the windscreen for the little wiper to move smoothly on. So that's the reason.
Because if we use this one, as we do this,
It's
it
gonna
will
get
actually,
caught,
can you
isn't it?
see, it would literally get caught
Yeah.
on your die cuts. But now it won't. That will slide up and down, and it won't make any difference because we've got that acetate on the front.
Okay.
And then the next thing you do is cut out that border. So cut out your border, add your glue dots on it, and then we're going to turn that round so our butterflies are facing in. And actually I'm going to start up the top, because this is just slightly, or it might be, no, we've got it exactly the size that we need. Just pop that onto the side and give that a rub down. So that just gives you your border. And then the next thing we're going to do, we're going to use this to stick on the front now. So we're going to just this panel here, which is this bit. So measure where you want this done, and then hold your finger just where it is, and then you can add your tape pen.
Got you.
And then that way you know that you're not going to go above or put it anywhere where you don't need it. So I'm putting plenty of tape on there, and then what we're going to do is bring this across, and we're going to just stick that down, making sure on the other side we've got that completely straight along the bottom and the side. Oh, excuse me. So just giving that a good rub down, and then we're going to open that up, and this tab only we're going to then apply our, so if I hold that open, you can see that's our tab there.
Yeah.
It's just this tab on the edge. We're going to apply our glue down. So nowhere else, Just making sure we've filled that with plenty. That will fold completely back across, and you're going to then stick that down. And just hold that into place. Give that a rub, and down here to make sure that that's all working beautifully. There we go. And that way, then when you pop it up, you'll actually have that popping up every time.
Brilliant.
So how amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really beautiful. So I think we're going to stop for a little break so we can regroup, get everything stuck together. And then our last piece is our stamping of and cutting of our die cuts. And we're going to do a little bit of colouring to finish off.
We've got half an hour to go, so I think we're going to time this absolutely perfectly. And thank you for all the questions coming in. And as I said, that's our pleasure to actually recap on things for you and make sure that you're there with us. And as I said, if you have fallen behind for whatever reason, then of course this video will be available for you on our Facebook page, on YouTube, so you can come back and watch it again at a time which is convenient to you. Or indeed, you can just carry on crafting after we finish, because that video will be there. Like Georgina says, you can fast forward all my bits as well, so you don't have to hear me waffle on. I just wanted to quickly recap on the full collection for you. I'll go through this fairly swiftly because I realise we've got a little bit to do before we finish in half an hour's time. So you've got your 48 sheet paper pad. This is proving very popular individually as well. I'll tell you for why. I think loads of people are coming back and grabbing this pad who've already got the collection, and actually a lot of people who are going for the full collection as well are actually adding another paper pad into their bundle. Just for the fact they know they're going to get so much use out of this and they don't want to run out. So if you are one of those people, grab it now whilst you can. Even if you've got the full collection already, jump in and grab this. Maybe if you want to get a couple of them and add some of the pearlescent paper in there as well. And again, if you do find that you're spending more than £40 or $40, you'll get that extra 10% off too. But certainly worth adding that in. All of what I'm showing you now is available individually on a multi-buy. All of what I'm showing you now is going to come to you in the big bundle. The details on the screen for you there. You're also going to get your sheets of cardstock as well. That pearlescent card is included, and again it matches up absolutely perfectly in that collection. I think let me just double check that, knocking everything over. How many sheets in there, George? It's 24. Yeah, 24 sheets in your pearlescent pad for £11.99 or $15.96. And as I say, you can see just how this matches up absolutely beautifully for you with those patterned papers as well. All right, so let's show you what else is in the bundle. You're also going to get your stamp and die set. So the honeybee is included. We're going to flash up all the details individually for you as well here. Let's try and do these in some sort of order, hopefully to try and make George's life easier in the gallery. I don't know if it's going to. You've then got the beehive. Again, beautiful stamped images with all of the dies to be able to pop those out as well. You've then got in this collection the gorgeous bee blooms. That is a stunning flower colour in whichever colour you would love to. And then you've got the bees included there as well. There's some lovely sentiments that come with all of these as well. And of course then all of those dies to be able to work perfectly too. Your Bee-Youtiful sentiments, again, are just stunning, and I just think add even more versatility to this collection, because they are just going to allow you to make cards just because, cards just to say hello, cards just to put a smile on somebody's face, you know, cards for those random crafts of kindness as well that we've been doing over the weeks here. There's plenty of lovely sentiments that tie in nicely with this collection. Then we've got your Builder Bee. If you want to see this in action, then this was on Wake Up Call a little bit earlier on. Craig made a beautiful card with that. Didn't get voted for as the demo of the show, surprisingly, but again, it's all of those different elements so that you can stamp individually, build up this bee, get your colouring pens into there as well to create a beautiful, beautiful collection. Then we've got your dies. This bumbling in the flowers is stunning. Again, a bit of a one-pass wonder there, really, cutting you out that gorgeous aperture. If you want to snip away here as well, you can do. I mean, that's quite a large bee you could use for other projects potentially. The snippability that you've got within this allows you to cut out individual elements as well. Also included in this collection is your Sweet as Honeycomb. This again, another one of those sort of creator cards really. Again, you whack that through and that is the frame that you're going to get. Again, if you like to do your paper piecing, fantastic. But it's a really super useful die as well. At £10.39 or £15.96 individually for that one. Next is the die that you've just seen Debbie using there in the demo to create that sort of strip, if you like, and also brilliant for doing your little mini edgeables as well. That gorgeous little Bee Happy. You've also got your Bees in Nature. This is your cut and emboss folder. Again, if I just give that a little wiggle, you can see the detail of that emboss. One pass through, giving you that beautiful aperture there too. And then finally, you've got your Bees and Flowers embossing folder. So as I say, the great thing is all of this is included in the bundle, but then you've got the sort of separate elements. Maybe if you've just got a mini, for example, you might choose some of the smaller components from the main bundle that you can use within your mini. However, if you love all of the goodies that I've just shown you, that is the complete bundle right there for $79.99 today, platinum, or $112. Lots of you jumping in for that, lots of you going for the individuals. We have got 25 minutes to go. We're going to check in with our crafters. Don't forget, we've still got Rhonda and Jenny crafting along with us in the States. We'll see how they're getting on very shortly. But let us cross over to Debbie for the, well, I guess it must be the final finishing touches now.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to do a bit of stamping, a bit of colouring, and these things don't take that long. The good thing is if we don't get to finish it all completely, and I mean all the different elements coloured in and everything else, you've made your card. So you've got your card then to decorate however you see fit. So I'm glad we got this done and the mechanism to make it with. But we will be able to get quite a bit of this done, I think. So the first thing is that we're going to use is that gorgeous honey pot here. So we're going to stamp that out. We're also going to use our honey apiary. I couldn't think what it was called then. Honey house.
Oh,
It's an apiary.
The apiary.
What was that? A beehive.
Beehive. Oh my God, I couldn't think of it then either. The more you were struggling to say the easiest of words.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Apiary, bee house.
Yeah,
bee
that's
hotel.
it. Apiary. I mean, apiary is harder than a beehive, and I'm saying a bee house. So I'm getting some Nina cardstock. You can use stamping card, which is fine. So whatever your colouring medium of choice. You might even find that you are using, it's gone out of my head now, that you're using...
What's that?
I don't know what I was going to say. Honestly, it's completely gone out of my head. But anyway, whatever you're using, whatever cardstock, watercolour card, that's what I was going to say. You might want to use watercolour mediums to colour them in. The other thing I wanted, because I wanted some bigger bees as well, so I've gone for my other pack, which is the Bee Blooms.
Yeah.
So if you've got the full collection, you'll have the bigger bees in there as well. So we're just going to cut those out. Pop them on and use our stamping platform to have those on.
I'll tell you what, if we don't, I mean, hopefully we'll get lots of people sending in pictures at the end of the show. If we don't get a chance to show them in this show, we will try and show them during Cartload, but I know there's loads of you who will be crafting along afterwards. Crafty Angie just saying, Debbie, I'm loving this card, I'll make it today. I think a bee would be great on the pop-up part of the card, says Darlisa on YouTube. And lots of people taking on the idea of that wiper card as well. With Kim Kitchell on Facebook says, I'm going to make a wiper card using the Woodland Friends range. I love that idea. Oh
yes, that would look lovely.
Oh
yes, that would look amazing with the Woodland Friends. I love the Woodland Friends.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Just as a heads up as well, we've got the best ever price on a Woodland Friends collection coming up for you on Cartload later on. It's Ben's Bonanza Boomtastic Bargain Banging Deal later on tonight.
Right, so we're going to get colouring. Now, we do have illustrators on the show, so you can use them if you want. But I've got my tri-blends because they're nice and quick. So I'm going to start off with we've got our gold yellow and our gold brown. So I'm going to use the gold brown to colour this one in. So this is our quickest one. So I'm just going to start colouring, Ben.
Just to say as well, if you love your illustrators, can't say too much, but wonder what could be in the mystery bag. Listen. Cartload tonight. £16.20. $24 platinum. What's in the bag? You'll have to tune in to find out.
You just have to ask if you want attention, Ben.
That's what I do at home when I want attention. I've actually got a bell at home, that's what I do normally. No, of course I don't, George, of course. Georgina's just gone, no you don't. I was like, of course I haven't. She's gone, well it wouldn't have surprised me. Oh dear, I don't really have a bell.
So all I'm doing here is I'm using my lightest colour of my gold brown blend, and then I've gone in with my medium colour, and then I'm now just flicking in just to give me that definition with the darkest colour. It's why I choose the tri-blend, because they really are just so quick to do.
Yeah.
And already we've got that coloured in and it just looks amazing.
Yeah, fab.
So our next one, we're going to grab our gold yellow blend and we're going to colour our honey pot. And I'm going to do exactly the same, Ben. I'm just going to colour in that middle section with my lightest colour.
Mary Lee is saying, I haven't used the cut and emboss folder yet. I need to look up some ideas. Like Debbie, I'm a Pinterest fan. There's loads out there. I mean, you know, you always come to us, obviously, here at Crafters TV for, you know, the demos, for inspiration. But there's plenty out there as well. I would say, you know, with our shows particularly, you can go back on YouTube. You can check out all of the shows that we've done over the years there for interest. But yeah, there's plenty of places to go. Online as well, just to have a bit of a snoop around, see what everyone else is doing and get some ideas that way.
Absolutely.
And Pinterest is, well, it's one of those sites I think that everybody's heard of, isn't it, really?
I love Pinterest for everything. I mean,
Yeah,
not just for my
not just for
crafting.
crafting.
I do it for cooking, get recipes on there. They're great for really fun parties. They're great for doing party food. If you're into your platters, because I love platters at the moment, Ben, like doing party platters.
Well, like
of
meat
food.
platters?
Yeah, like meat platters, but you can do so many. And Christmas time, we
Oh,
love
yeah.
to do like Christmas shapes of Christmas trees.
Well, so you go there for recipes, do you?
Yeah, and just ideas. Like
I'm
you
sure
can,
my Laura goes there as well because she likes to upcycle furniture.
Uh-huh.
So I'm sure she
yeah,
uses Pinterest
absolutely.
for that as well,
yeah.
for ideas of colours and
Yeah,
you know, different things that you can do.
So good. So, and then if anyone doesn't know, I'm sure you do, but you can create your own boards. So you pin your own interests. So that's what Pinterest is all about. So when you get an idea, you then you say, I want to pin it, and then you create a board. So I create a board of foods and whatever I sort of like in that time, I just make a board up.
Yeah.
So like decorating ideas you might have for your bathroom, stuff like that. And then you just go in and you pin all sorts of ideas.
Well, then people can just like, borrow your ideas for free.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You just pin them and and you get all your ideas like that. So I've never copied something thoroughly, but I've got ideas from there.
Yeah.
But actually, I don't even think there's anything wrong with copying.
No.
You know, it's people are putting it on a website.
So yeah, use it.
Use it. It's a great one to do.
Just to say as well, whilst Debbie's colouring, Anna's asked, are any of the show times different tomorrow owing to the HSM preview? Yes, they are. Tomorrow you've got your normal wake-up call. That is with George is here tomorrow with Craig. All right, so that is normal time at 12 UK time, 7 o'clock East Coast. Then normal time 3 o'clock. It's myself and Leanne with the launch of the gnomes and the gonks. The gnomes and the gonks.
Aren't they amazing?
Oh, we cannot wait. We cannot wait. 3 o'clock UK, 10 o'clock East Coast, and then 6 o'clock, which will be 1 o'clock East Coast, 10 o'clock West Coast, will be Colour Me Happy tomorrow with George and Sam and Craig. And then the HSM preview tomorrow night from 9 p.m, which is 4 p.m. East Coast, isn't it? I'm trying to work all these out now. But slightly different tomorrow, the show times for you. Just a few people asking about the ink pad you use, is that right?
Yep, so I've just put it in front of me. So I'm using the alcohol proof in Flagstone.
Right.
Yes, so it means that I can do all my work and not have it run at all. It's just perfect to use. So there you go, nice quick colouring because we've got our tri-blends. I'm now just going to do our leaves. So just colouring them in. And I am doing this quite quickly. Obviously, you might want to take your time on your colouring. I just want to get it done so you can see how we can put it together on our card. So But please take your time. If you like your colouring, then just take a little bit of time.
It's amazing to watch though how quickly you are colouring it, but yet how professional the finished coloured project looks.
And honestly, Ben, it's not because I am an advanced colourist of any sort. No, not at all. Well, I probably colour more than most, I know that. But I still would love to colour better than I do. But it means that when you've got the right equipment, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to colour these in yellow. So I'm using these colours because if I bring my card in, I'm just keeping it in theme with the colours that I'm using on my card. But if you want something brighter, the flower itself, we have that big flower one, which we use the big bee out of. This one would look gorgeous on there as well. But I thought it would be nice. Yeah, you're right. Someone said about having a bee popping out the top, which would look really cool. The great thing about the bees, they're really quick and easy to colour in because they're already black. All I'm doing is I'm going to go over them really quickly with my yellow. So I'm not going to do anything fussy with these at all. I wouldn't normally even do the wings yellow, but as we're being quick here, I'm just colouring them in. And actually they look really cool because we've stamped them. All that detail is already in them.
Yeah.
So nice and quick, and then all we need to do is cut them out and stick them on our card. So I think we're pretty much on time. And like I say, I know I sort of coloured that in quite speedily, so take your time on that. You don't need to be so quick with your colouring. But actually, if you've got your tri-blends and you are colouring and you like to get that up to speed, do that and carry on with me. Absolutely fine. The choice is yours. So I'm going to bring this in, Ben, and I'm just going to tape all my bits down.
Right, Teresa's just ordered the stamp set and says can't wait to get it. Let us know what you've been buying during the show as well. If you've just taken the plunge and bought the Bee-Youtiful collection for the first time or bought different elements of it as well, do let us know in the socials on Facebook and YouTube what you've taken the plunge for. Maybe you've made your own little sort of mini bundle as well for £40 or $40, or maybe you've come back for some more of those paper pads too. And don't forget as well, we would love to see your pictures, whether or not we get a chance to show them before the end of the show or not. Do send them in because potentially we will show them during Cartload as well when we kick off the show. Myself and Craig here from 7 o'clock. Studio at crafterscompanion.co.uk. We will show your makes, which I'm looking forward to seeing. And of course, as I say, we must check in with Jenny and Rhonda at some point before the end of the show as well, just to see how they've been getting on crafting along with us. I've sort of been watching them because it's really weird. I've got loads of different screens in front of me here, so I can keep an eye on what they're doing. And they've both been busying away.
They've been busy bees.
They have been busy bees. Just I can see Ron as well. Just seeing whether the Shadow the cat's been in, but he's kept away, which is good news. That's the last thing we want, isn't it? A cat jumping on.
Oh, I'd love to see him.
Maybe we'll
Shadow.
Maybe we'll get him in at the end of the show potentially.
Right, so I've just taped all them down, and with one pass we can cut all of those through the machine. So we're just going to add those in. Oh, and I forgot to stamp a sentiment, so that's the other thing. Oh, I'm just looking.
One of your dies slipped, I think.
Yeah,
isn't
I see that. Yeah, I didn't tape it down. So because I've got all these in, I'm just going to send that through, and then we can redo that one.
Okay. Just flashing up the details of the Gemini MIDI machine which Debbie's using. That one is available. It was our hero tool yesterday on Creative Cravings, and it's a heck of a buy. Back in stock. You're getting the machine for $55.99 if you're platinum, or $71.96. It already comes with your folder and your purple plastic shim. Remember, it's kind of like a one folder wonder, really. Dies go in there. You don't have to worry about plate combinations. Your 2D folders go through with your purple plastic shim. 3D folders go through on their own. But the deal is going to give you, of course, 2 more folders, another plastic shim, and your storage bag included for free, which is why this is such a fantastic deal and why so many of those flew out the door yesterday. And it just goes to show how great it is as well, because literally that is the machine that Debbie's used all the way through the show today. So there's time and a place for all the different machines, but the MIDI certainly is a real workhorse, and you get the power and precision and great cut and emboss from that machine that you'd expect from all of our Gemini machines. It was a fab machine, isn't it, Debbie?
It's such a good machine, and to be honest, you know what, we've shouted about electronic machines for a few years now since the Gemini come out, because you cannot be an electronic machine because it's quick, it's fast, there's no doing anything, it does all that hard work for you, but they're costly, Ben. You know, electronic machines come quite a high cost tag, which is nice, but also comes with it not always the quickness that we want of a manual machine. So with a manual machine, not only does the cost go down quite a bit, it also means that you could be really quick with running things through. I could literally, if I put one of these, I just need an extra bee die, I could put it at the top of my platform, run it through and back again in about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, probably less than that. So it's so quickly. It's a really speedy machine, and it's just convenient. So that's what I love about it. So that's why I know people that have electronic machines also go for the, not only because they just want to have all of the Geminis, Ben, but because it adds that extra value to their craft room as well. Right, so we've got all our pieces here. We're going to bring our card back in. Our little beehive that we've got here, we're going to place him on the top. So what I would suggest is open it up flat, so you can either have this as the actual tag, or if you want it to be more straighter, you can just put it to a straight angle. And all I'm going to do is put my glue on the top here. So I'm going to use the tacky glue, and we're going to just pop some glue along that top, and that will just glue our little house into place at the top.
Yeah.
And also just make sure when you fold it down, it doesn't come past this crease.
Oh, okay.
It's why I've measured this, to make sure that this was enough to fit in. So, and I would say I've probably put that on about 1 centimetre. So it's about 1 centimetre in. And then that gives us, that will then pop to and from into there. And then our honey pots. So I like to, because what I have done, and we won't have time to do this, because I did use, and I know it's out of stock at the moment, but for all of you that have got your glossy highlights, I have used glossy highlights on mine. Now, a tip for this is to put it on when everything's stuck down, because when it dries, it sort of distorts things. So make sure it's stuck down, so when it dries, it doesn't move anything. So we're going to place our pot on here and on the side. So I always put my fingers there and know to go round my fingers. So we're just going to hold these and put that all the way around. And then I know that I can stick that safely on that edge, and that will be held into place just with my tacky glue. I mean, you can use your glue pen, tape pen, but whatever you decide to use. So that gives us our other pot. And then I'm going to use these to, we're going to put foam pads onto there.
Yes.
So just bringing in foam pads, and it just gives that 3D effect. And these really do look lovely when you put your glossy highlights on them. And you can put these absolutely anywhere. So let's just make sure that doesn't go over the fold. We'll have our bee there.
So impressed how quickly this has come together. You know, crafting in real time and kind of, you know, just backing up and, you know, recapping on some of the measurements and things. But it's a really, really impressive card. And like you said, it's one of those, it's almost like a mantelpiece pleaser, isn't it? One of those cards that people will just keep coming back to, picking up and seeing that kinetic
well, you can't help
move.
it, can
no,
you, Ben?
you can't.
You can't help but just fold down and all the time, and to get those different variants of what you, how you see it. It's just something we sort of do, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to pop one. I'm going to pop one over here. So that gives us our card. Now, all I want to, the only thing, how are we doing for time? Have we got time to do a sentiment?
We've got 8 minutes.
Right, so we've got time. So what I am going to do, and what I love as well, is in this honey pot one, we do have a sentiment. So it's, you're sweeter than honey.
Aww.
It's very cute, isn't it? So we're just going to stamp this out onto a piece of card. So I'm just going to bring in a piece of card. And you haven't got to worry again. This is... it's got a die that cuts it out as well, which is great. I love things that have a die to cut them out, especially sentiments.
Yeah, we seem to be doing it more and more, don't we?
Yeah, well, before I just used to, I'm going to bring that down because it had some ink on it. I used to always fussy cut.
Yeah.
And now I don't need to. So I'm just going to take all my dies, my stamps off of my platform. Just pop that down, pick that up and stamp that one. And then we can die cut that out and stick that on. And there we go.
Don't forget, still time for you to bag your goodies as well. If you want to go for the full collection, you can, or make up your own mini bundles as well. £40 or $40 gets you an extra 10% off the individual items. Yes, and for those of you that are asking, what's the demo of the show? It will definitely be number one today. Definitely be number one today.
Yes, yeah, we haven't done anything else, have we?
Don't just say it like that. I've done anything else. It's all I've done.
Mind you, that is what we plan for when we do
Yes.
it. It's just a little bonus if we finish on time and can get another demo in.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to take that down and then we're going to send that through. So this is exactly what I was talking about when you want something really quick. I'm going to snip this off. I'm going to bring in my MIDI and literally I'm going to pop that right up into the top, and it will take seconds then to cut that out. So in and out.
Shake it all about.
Shake it all about. And that will give us our beautiful die cut. There we go, as quick as that. So I'm going to bring that in and we're going to pop that under there. So bring in the glue. Oh, there we go. And then just stick that on. So you are sweeter than honey, just on our end. And there you go, nice and done. So bring that round. And then we go, hello.
What do we do?
Hello.
Hello. That's
Hello.
so brilliant.
And then if I bring in my finished one, should
Yeah.
be pretty much the same. Can you see I've just done that glossy highlights on the bees and on that honey pot, and it just gives a touch of something else. But actually it's not needed, looks just as nice, but because we've put that acetate on the back now, we can put all our die cuts on the back and know that that will slip in and out, no problem whatsoever.
I have thoroughly enjoyed this craft along. It's been brilliant, hasn't it? And I think more than anything, as I've said, if you are still a little bit behind, for example, you have got the ability to finish this afterwards. The show will be there for you on Facebook and on YouTube, so you can come back and craft along in your own time. And make sure you send in your pictures as well, because we want to see everything that you have made over the course of the last few hours, and we'll show it on Cartload a little bit later on. Studio at crafterscompanion.co.uk. I can't believe we've literally got 5 minutes remaining, but let's quickly check in with our two crafters who've been crafting along with us, busy like bees over the last hour and 55 minutes. Jenny is with us. Did you manage to finish, Jenny, or are you still colouring?
No, I actually did.
Let's have a look then. Here we go. Hey, what do you reckon to that, Debbie?
It looks amazing. The green, I love the green border at the back. That looks beautiful. Lovely, lovely job. Did you enjoy it, Jenny?
Oh, I loved it. That was very fun.
So pleased.
Is it? I think. Did you say, Jenny, you've made those wiper cards before? Have you?
I have. It's been many years ago, so
Yeah,
I don't
like
remember
me.
actually it being this easy.
Yeah. Will you be making more now? We've kind of brought it to the forefront
I
again.
definitely will.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's absolutely lovely. I'd love to see. I'd love to see more of those, and I'd love to see more of you guys making more of those wiper cards as well, because they are brilliant. Jenny, producer Jordan is just asking me whether you're going to be joining us on any more shows, because have you been on a few shows with us?
I have been. I don't have any scheduled so far. I just keep putting my name in there. If they pick me, I'm available.
Hey, listen, I'm sure we'll see
Absolutely.
you very soon. I love that. You know, nothing in my schedule yet, but I'll check my diary. Might get a call from Crafters TV very soon. But thank you, Jenny, so much. We will definitely get you on another show very, very soon indeed. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jenny.
Let's cross over to
Thank
Rhonda
you.
as well, who's been crafting along with us. Rhonda, how did you get on? Have you completed your card?
Well, I haven't because I cut myself.
Oh no! Are you okay?
Rhonda.
Oh, I cut myself on the guillotine. That thing is sharp.
Oh, it is, yes. It's a sword blade, that's what it is.
I managed to finish coloring.
Okay. Well, that's fantastic.
Oh,
look at that, Debbie.
that. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Oops, where am I
colouring.
going? There we go.
Fab.
Amazing.
So,
I finished coloring,
yeah.
and I've got the card.
Okay.
Oh, fabulous. Fabulous.
I love that.
So it actually, oops. How do you guys do this?
It's complicated, isn't it? There you go. Give us a pull there. There we go. Amazing.
Ah, brilliant.
So at least you've got the last part of the, well, you know what you're doing now, don't you? You basically know what you've got to do with those final few pieces that you've coloured. So I guess you can finish off in the next 10 minutes or so.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Rhonda, have you enjoyed the experience? Apart from cutting your finger?
Apart from cutting myself, yeah.
Well, listen,
It was fun.
Yeah. Will you send us a picture of your finished project as well so we can show it later on?
I absolutely will.
Excellent stuff.
And if you'd like to see Shadow, I'll go get him.
Oh, well, I know Debbie would. Maybe if you quickly can, and I'll just quickly wrap up. There we go. We've got to see the cat before we disappear. Just to quickly recap for you, the whole collection, it's available today for you, the whole lot for $79.99 or $112. And you get everything that you're seeing here. You get all of the gorgeous papers. You get the pearlescent paper in there as well. So many stamp and die sets included. Those gorgeous, almost like creator card dies that you've got in there as well. Embossing folders. I mean, it is just a wonderful collection. So many of you grabbed it when it first launched, and I know many of you have grabbed it right now. Just before we go, Rhonda's got Shadow.
Oh my word, he's huge. Oh, look at him. Oh, I love him so much.
How old is Shadow?
He is 8.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
And a big boy.
look at the size of him. There he is. I love him so much.
He's huge. Wow.
Rhonda and Shadow, thank you so much. It was lovely to see you both. We'll look forward to seeing your card, Rhonda. Thanks for joining us on the Craft Along. Come back and do another one soon, won't you?
Thank you, Rhonda.
Maybe next time I won't cut myself.
Absolutely, we shall keep our fingers crossed. Rhonda, thank you so much. Big thank you to Jenny as well. Debbie, thank you to you as well. What a brilliant Craft Along. Thoroughly enjoyed
I'm
it.
glad you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it too. So, yes, it's great. I'm off now for the football for the weekend.
There you go. Well, yeah, when are you back?
I'm back next Wednesday. Yes,
Okay.
next Wednesday.
So we will see you then, and I might see you in the meantime in Durham somewhere over the weekend.
Yes.
Thank you so much to Debbie. Listen, make sure you do send in all of your pictures if you have been crafting along with us, and stay tuned, because I tell you what, from the kind of tranquility of craft along, the tranquility of craft along, we have got the madness and chaos coming your way of a cartload with a mystery bag and so many great deals for you. That's all coming up 7 o'clock UK time, 2 o'clock East Coast. Make sure you join us then. We'll see you in just a couple of hours. Take care. Bye for now.